Hi, I'm Miro Kaz.
I'm the real Tom Rose.
And you're watching the MBA show bonus content.
Bonus content.
So today on the show we talked about how the jobs report is up. It's great news, and for those of you heading out to your resume, heading out to your summer internship, what you want to think about is putting together a summer internship that's going to look great on your resume.
And one of the things we're going to talk about in the bonus content here today is what concrete steps you can take to make sure that that happens.
Yeah.
We talked about what you want to achieve during the regular show, which is you want to have measurable outcomes.
This is on your project for the summer, yeah?
Yeah, you want to have a project with a time frame that you can complete it, and also you want to have a project that's a reasonable size so that you can have an impact.
And you're thinking, well, how do I have any control over what project I get on? And it actually turns out you can have a big impact on it. Not total, but there's a lot of things that you can do. The biggest one is pre-work, and it's never too soon to do pre-work.
So who would you go to ask for?
Well, your best resource as an MBA for pre-work is your classmates, especially if you're going to a company that's had your classmates as people there beforehand.
Right.
You want to talk to all of those people, the ones currently there, the ones who've done it before. Ask them who to work for, what's good,
Right.
what those projects are.
Because if you're going to a brand name company, or even a local company, there's almost certainly somebody from the year above you who's either working there now or worked there last year.
And they're a great resource. MBAs love to help out other MBAs on that. So that's the best way to get started. What about when you hit the ground?
Well, one of the things that I think that's really important is that you pick out a project that's going to make your boss look good. Something that people really overlook. It's very easy to get pigeonholed into trying to make yourself look good, but if you focus on what's going to make your boss look good, you're going to get a lot more support when you work on those projects.
Yeah. And that's a great way to get the project that you want as well. Is, it's often easy to think, oh, I'm just going to get assigned something.
Right.
But if you propose something really good to your boss or your potential boss, they're really likely to let you work on that. And a great way to make them really likely to let you work on what you propose is to propose something that makes your boss look good.
So the way that I've always done this is I basically have a meeting with my boss. What I ask them is, you don't want to be straightforward about this because it feels a little cagey, but what you want to say is something along the lines of, how is it that you measure success at your position? What are the few numbers that you track, and what is something that turns the dial for you?
Yeah.
And they're liable to say something that you haven't even thought of. It's like, oh, we really look at operations and how many customers we serve per hour.
Yeah.
Well, now you can figure out a project that you can work on that's going to increase that number specifically, and you're going to get a lot of support and traction on that.
And so that's great for for smaller companies. Best if you can do this before you get started. At larger companies where you may get assigned on a project with some sort of a staffing person is obviously a much bigger challenge. You're not going to have the same kind of flexibility about who your boss is, and so there your pre-work becomes even more important. And I would say the other important thing is ask. You are not just at the mercy of the staffing person, and if you ask for it and you don't get what you're looking for, that may be a chip in the hopper later on if things aren't working out to make that kind of a change. So don't feel like you just fall victim to being churned through the same mill as everyone else at your internship.
So if I'm hearing you right, it sounds like the overarching message here is basically begin with the end in mind and make sure that you think strategically.
Absolutely. As always, I'm Miro Kaz.
I'm the real Tom Rose.
And you've been watching the MBA show bonus content.